Hey there, Tenno. This is Shadow Scythe, and this is another installment of In the Know. Now, at the time that I'm recording this, the Devstream will have literally just ended, but by the time it actually hits YouTube, it might be an hour, hour and a half afterwards. The Chroma Deluxe skin is right around the corner. They're just waiting on the weapon. That was one of the key things that they brought up right at the very beginning. It's an interception. I don't really want to do that. And then they also talked about like the Corpus Spear gun, the Tenno shotgun, a couple of other weapons that all have their own varying amounts of work that still have to be done. So those are going to be here and there. The Warframe is being finalized right now as we speak. At the moment, there's just the last little bit of whatever housekeeping they have to do with her, and then they have to finish the quest. And one of the other things, and I actually have a image to put up, and I'll probably put it up right about now, is one of the Warframe's powers actually had gotten a change, so she actually has her own unique roller. And I think that that's actually pretty cool.
Hey, Tenno. Good to see you. Listen, I have a little job for you. So, what do you say? Will you help him out? And don't worry, you'll get paid too.
The Limbo rework is pretty much done as well. They're just working on balancing issues with it. Photo booth mode has received some changes since the last time we saw it, and I've got like a little shot of the menu to show you guys. But essentially, it's just received some more options, which turn out to be a light ring.
Let him know you're here.
That actually follows you through the mission, or through the whatever tile you decide to take your photos in.
Hey, look, these guys are dropping life support modules all over the place. That's convenient.
Now, one of the other things that they had talked about that I'm actually glad about, and I know a lot of you die-hard Equinox fans are going to be glad about as well, Equinox is getting a new alt helmet. That I've got an image for that as well, and the thing that I absolutely love about this alt helmet that they showed for Equinox is unlike the other ones where you kind of just had like mirrored images of the left and right sides of the face, and pretty much like it was the same design, just everything was mirrored over. With this new alt helmet for Equinox, you've got a combined look that actually looks really cool, but the combined look is different altogether from the day or night forms. Like, it's not just one half that's mirrored over in the individual colors. And like the actual like little faceplate on Equinox herself, not only is it mirrored over, not only is it well, it's not actually mirrored over, the faces are actually unique based on which form you're in. And you'll see that when I put the image up. Quick thing, just, I don't mean to backtrack, but I did not talk about this, like, as soon as I mentioned Warframe, but, Warframe now has an alt helmet as well, as we kind of knew was going to happen since every new frame they've released to date has come with its own alt helmet. They showed a new sort of clan menu that's pretty much your clan affinity when that goes live. I have an image to show you guys for that, but it'll basically show you like what labs the clan has and the research that's completed and how much affinity it generates towards your clan ranking. So the days of trying to recruit and saying my clan has this, this, and this are done. As to when that update actually goes live, though, I don't know. Because this was all showed on a development build, so as you know, it's all still a work in progress. One of the other things that was, another thing that was mentioned was a quality of life update showing more supplemental stats for weapons, such as punch through, status duration, and all of that other fun stuff. So you guys can get more of a feel as to what your mods are actually going to do with your weapon. And they talked about showing an average range with melee weapons, as that is it varies based on the animation strike itself. There were like several just key talk points that were brought up. Another thing that was brought up again that I know was brought up in past dev streams was being able to color the Wraith and Vandal weapons. And part of the reason as to why that was never done before was pretty much like a sign of accomplishment. And then they had even said that they weren't even sure if they were set up to color them, because of the fact that at the time when they first started doing these event weapons and whatnot, at the time that they had first started doing these event weapons, it was about the time when they first started doing primes, and at that time the gold metallics on prime warframes were not colorable. Though it's possible that we'll see a change to that now due to the fact that there have been so many changes to PBR and even the newer primes and newer frames that have metallics. Those metallics are colorable. At some point there should be an update going out that is going to reduce clan scoring to make it a little more achievable for like the ghost clans of one person, which will make it possible for you guys to get the Ignis Wraith. Now, I'm going to have to try to get some of my clanmates' asses into gear and get them on to at least try to do a couple of missions to where if I can get 4 of them, or at least 3 of them on, and we can all get, say, a score of like 200, we should be able to easily hit the goal and all of us get the Ignis Wraith. Because I mentioned before about in my video yesterday on it that the scoring was cumulative. That cumulative scoring is only for the personal rewards. The clan is scaled off of the personal best of select participating members. As to how many members, I don't know.
Hey, dropping another capsule.
and that's something that wasn't really talked about. But who knows? Another thing, the Hemleth Charger is pretty much right around the corner. They even gave a time frame that it should be out within the next week or so. Like, the time frame that they gave is 1 to 2 weeks, because the only thing that they have to do is like, there apparently Sheldon had talked about changing, or about there being a possible new precept and whatnot, but he wasn't on the Devstream to actually confirm that. But as far as the modeling and everything, and having the new animations hooked up, that's all done. It's just being finalized right now. One other thing that I had forgot to mention is they are also adding a cancel feature to the Foundry in case you started to craft something you had a blueprint for, but you've already done it. So this way, if you happen to accidentally start something, you can cancel it and get all of your resources back, with the exception of Argon, as that is the only resource in the game that expires, and that is a loophole that people would exploit. And unfortunately, one of the other things is, like, as I mentioned before, with the Wraith and Vandal weapons not being colorable, that does apply to the Harkonnen Wraith armor that you get from the event as we speak. However, if they change it to make the Wraith and Vandal weapons colorable, I'm sure that will apply to those personal rewards as well. God, I really need to farm on this. One last thing before I actually wrap this up is finalization is almost finished with the Earth remaster as well, and by God, it looks beautiful. Unfortunately, I was not able to capture an accurate screenshot to show you guys, but if you want to check that out, check out the recap on YouTube. I will put a link in the description box below. But other than all that, I don't really... There was more talk about stuff that they're doing with clans. I don't remember right off the top of my head as to what it all is. But this has been the latest installment of In the Know. And until next time, Tenno, stick to the shadows.